What's going on, guys? It's your boy Billy Chuck coming at you with episode 1 in season 2. Billy Chuck's 30 Minutes of Mayhem. Let's go. For episode 1 of season 2, I did a lot of fucking research and I came down to the conclusion that season 1, episode 2 would be the band Disturbed. Let's go. Disturbed is a metal band from Chicago, formed in 1994. It includes guitarist Dan Donegan, drummer Mike Wengren, bassist John Moyer, and my man David Draymond on the vocals. Dan Donegan and Mike Wengren, now they've been in the band since Disturbed started. But David Draymond replaced original vocalist Eric Allwalt in 96, and Moyer replaced original bassist Steve Fuzz Kamek in '04. Disturbed's debut album, their debut album was called The Sickness, and that was released in 2000. I remember distinctly, I was sitting in economics class, I believe. I was sitting in front of this girl named Dana, and she was listening to Stupefy, and she was singing the words, and I had no idea at the time who the Disturbed was. But I liked the lyrics she was singing, and um, they sounded tormented. They sounded disturbed, right? So I asked her. I said, "Dana, who who the fuck are you singing?" And she told me Disturbed, and from then on, I've been a fan. Disturbed, after their debut album, they released their second album. It was called Believe, and that was released in '02. 10,000 Fifths, they released in '05. Indestructible was in '08, and Asylum was in 2010. All of which, all of which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. So, congrats. But Disturbed went into hiatus in October of 2011. Um, the band focused on various side projects and released The Lost Children. It was a compilation album containing previously unreleased songs. But no worries, no worries. They returned in June of 2015 and released their sixth studio album. It was called Immortalized that very same year. After their album Immortalized, they followed it up with the albums Evolution, and which was released in 2018, and then in 2022 they released the album Divisive. Well, Disturbed has sold over 17 million records worldwide, so congrats to them. 6 RIAA certifications for their albums, including 5-time platinum album The Sickness, singles from all 8 albums, re- reaching the top 10 of the mainstream rock chart, and 2 Grammy nominations. Disturbed ranks alongside Slipknot and Godsmack as one of the most successful bands of the 21st century. Okay, you guys on a little bit of Disturbed's back history. Um, Before David Draymond joined Disturbed, um, Dan and Mike and bassist Steve Fuzz Kamek, they were in a band called Brawl. um, with vocalist Eric Allwalt before changing their name to Brawl. However, um, Dan mentioned in the band's DVD, Decade of Disturbed, that the name was originally going to be Crawl. They switched it to Brawl because the name was already being used by another band. Go figure. This shit always fucking happens. But the singer, Eric Allwalt, he left the band shortly after recording of a demo tape. The three other members advertised for a singer. They posted an advertisement in the local music publication in Chicago, Illinois, called the Illinois Entertainer. David Draymond answered the advertisement after going to 20 other auditions that month. I guess when you're committed, you're committed, huh? Guitarist Dan Donegan commented, out of all the singers that we had talked to or auditioned, David Draymond was the only singer who was ready to go with originals. And that impressed him just to attempt that. Um, but with regard to David Draymond being the singer for the band, Dan Donegan, after a minute or two, he said David just starts banging out these melodies that were fucking huge. And he's playing his guitar and he's grinning from ear to ear, trying not to give it away that he likes David, because I don't want to, say, yeah, we'll give you a call back, like bands fucking do. They leave you on eggshells. But he said, well, we'll discuss it. But I was so psyched, he said. Um, Chills up his spine. David Draymond gave him chills up his spine. He's like, there is something here. A drummer Mike Wengren commented, we clicked right off the bat. David Draymond then joined the band in '96, and the band was renamed Disturbed. When asked in an interview why he suggested to name the band Disturbed, David Draymond said it had been a name he has been contemplating for a band for years. It just seems to symbolize everything they were feeling at the time. Um, the label of conformity that the people were forced to introduce was disturbing to them. And they were just trying to push the envelope, and the name just sort of made sense. In '02, Disturbed covered the song Midlife Crisis, a Faith No More tribute that was eventually released in 2002. However, Disturbed's cover was not used, and a re recorded version would later make an appearance on the compilation album The Lost Children. And Disturbed released a documentary DVD about the band titled MOL, which showed some of the band's most personal moments in the studio and during the tour, as well as featuring several music videos and live performances. On September 17th of '02, Disturbed released their second album titled Believe, which debuted at number one on the Billboard 200. So, congrats. The music video for the first single from the album, titled Prayer, was pulled from the most television stations due to perceived similarities with the September 11 attacks. David Draymond recorded vocals for the song titled Forsaken, a song written and produced by Jonathan Davis of the band Korn, released on the movie Queen of the Damned. In May of 2012, David Draymond announced his new project, industrial band called Device. Draymond later released information regarding the future of Disturbed and his new project Device, stating that Device would release their self-titled debut album April 9th of 2013. The album features several guest musicians from various metal bands. On April 25th, 2013, it was announced that Dan Donegan and Mike Wengren had begun a new project with the band Evans blues singer Dan Chandler, and the band was called Fight or Flight. And their debut album, Life by Design, was released on July 23rd, 2013. But going forward on in December of 2014, they formed a new band with Scott Weiland of Stone Temple Pilots, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, twins John and Vince Vada, and the band was called Art of Anarchy, with a self-titled album released in June 2015. After the death of Scott Weiland, the band recruited retired Creed singer Scott Stapp and recorded their second album, The Madness, released in March 2017. In February of 2018, Art of Anarchy members filed a lawsuit to the New York Supreme Court against Scott Stapp for alleged failure to promote the madness. Disturbed's mascot is named The Guy, and it was originally just a drawing of a face with a large grin. Um, as seen on the back of the album, The Sickness. Yeah, I always thought it was just a drawing, but the original drawing of the guy was then edited using a digital distorting program after the original image had been distorted 3 times. The guy became the official mascot for the band. Later, he would be drawn as a full figure by artist David Finch. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. As always, if you like what you seen, like what you heard, like spending some time with your boy Billy Chuck, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave some comments. I don't care if you're a fucking asshole. Just leave me some love. Peace.